Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Canal Days, what life was like in the industrial Connecticut River Valley. As always, I'm your host, Kiri, along with co-host and founder of the Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Como. Our Canal Days series explores historic sites throughout Massachusetts with Robert's expertise of the state's history as our personal guide. Each episode, we discover another historic location or landmark, exploring the significance within. Today's episode will be exploring the St. Patrick's Church of Chicopee, Massachusetts. So, describe what the campus looked like in the early years.
Well, it was a split campus that had a church and a convent and then a rectory and a school in another place. But it started in 1872, and of course was named St. Patrick's because most of the parishioners were Irish. So we're going to talk about the early years, including this pasture. But there's a second campus, and I'm not talking about the split in this first campus either. And then we'll talk about some of the features that might be left around. Sadly, the church is now closed. So, the rectory was built in that same year, and then the convent was built in 1880, and the cemetery was built in 1873, so everything was kind of built together. And the school, of course, was built the same year as the convent, 1880. And those nuns are the Sisters of St. Joseph. And they were a teaching order, so they really fit into that. So, you got this full campus, and I got some beautiful Sanborn maps on my website, and some of them are clickable, and some are just exposed so you can see it. But remember, the school is about 2 blocks away from the church itself. No big deal. They tried to put the school where most of the residents were located. Now, they would attract some residents from across the Chicopee River, so there'd have to be a bridge there, and there was a Dady Bridge.
And can you reveal who the first ever pastor was of the church?
It was Patrick Stone, so he was responsible. He was the founder and the first pastor, and he stayed on as the pastor for 33 years, 1872 to 1905. Quite a long time. And I put a picture of him up on Find a Grave for you, so I have a grid on the page for this beautiful St. Patrick's Church, and Patrick Stone is listed in first in that grid as first pastor. If you click on Find a Grave, you'll be scooted out to his image in his stone. His stone is St. Patrick's Cemetery on Fuller Road in Chicopee is towards the front of the cemetery, right. And they wanted to make a pre-circle out of the area, and they gave up on the concept about 75 years after he was buried, because no other pastor would be buried in that particular area. But other pastors were buried, but not pastors of St. Patrick's. And so he was the founder of all. So he had the church, rectory, school, and convent all built, and he had the cemetery all built. So he was very active within the community. And of course, he was born in Ireland. He understood his parishioners very well.
And stay tuned, and we'll be right back after this quick break. Are you fascinated by history and eager to explore the hidden gems of Massachusetts? Or maybe just looking for an enjoyable cultural activity for the family? Look no further than Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, founded by Robert Como. With over a decade of experience, Robert offers captivating public tours and presentations of historic sites and landmarks throughout the state. Whether you're interested in canals, cemeteries, or charming old churches and more, Robert's tours provide a unique and enriching experience for all. And that's not all. You can also book private tours tailored to your interests, ensuring a personalized and unforgettable adventure. Perfect for families or groups of all sizes, making an exciting hands-on learning experience that brings history to life. Simply visit holyokecanaltour.org or email bobcat4214, capital B, at yahoo.com to schedule your private tour today. But wait, there's even more. Don't miss out on Robert's podcast and video series, Canal Days, where you can dive even deeper into the rich history of the Connecticut River Valley. Plus, for those who may not be local or would rather enjoy on the go or from the comfort of their home, Canal Days brings the history right to your screen. So why wait? Discover the past with historical tours of Greater Holyoke and make memories that will last a lifetime. And remember to log on to holyokecanaltour.org for more information today. Welcome back to our Canal Days episode of the St. Patrick's Church. And can you elucidate for us the details of the second campus?
Yes, the second campus is on Broadway Street. In 1938, this new location was bought, the land was bought, and the rectory was bought. So they bought an old Victorian home there, and I have a nice picture of it up for you. It was right alongside the left side of the land. Now, you need to build the church, but they didn't start to construct anything until March of 1947. And it took almost 2 years to finish off, and the first mass would be early in 1949. And the builder was a firm called the Larkin firm. So that church was built, and the rectory followed, but the school stayed behind. So the school, which built in 1880 on land on the front lawn of where the rectory was, would stay there and not be revived until the 70s. And we'll talk about that soon. But since the school was out there, it was even farther away from the church. And that's quite a difference because most Catholic churches have their school right on the same campus body.
And does any part of the St. Patrick's Parish still exist today?
Okay, the old rectory, first location, which was in back of the old school, is gone, and it's revived rectory that's alongside the old church is gone, but the Victorian home that they bought next to the modern St. Patrick's is still there, so that rectory is there. Now, both convents are gone. The second convent, first convent was right next to the church, this old church, and the second one was in their former rectory behind the school, and of course they're gone. And the school has been modernized, and it might have came in first in the year 1880, but that part of the campus did get revived. So it was taken down, replaced, and a new one was ready to be used in April 17th, 1970, and that is still there. Now, as for the church itself, the one on Sheridan Street is now long gone, not a remnant to be seen. And I've checked a few times. And the one, of course, that came about second, the one on Broadway Street, is still there. But about 10 years ago, they closed it down, so it's not a Catholic church with masses anymore. So you got the school still there and functional, but not the actual church, and the rest totally gone.
Thanks for tuning in to Canal Days and today's episode of the St. Patrick's Church and joining us on our journey through the rich history of the Connecticut River Valley. We hope you enjoyed uncovering some of the hidden gems and fascinating stories that shaped our past in the state of Massachusetts. And a special thanks to Robert Camus, founder of the Historical Tours of Greater Holyoke, for sharing his passion and expertise with us. Remember, you can find more information about Robert's tours, book private tours, and explore the Canal Days video and podcast series at holyokecanaltour.org. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please like, comment, and share. We'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions for future episodes. Until next time, keep exploring and discovering the history that surrounds us. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to tune into our next episode of Canal Days.